So this one says, hot take. Readily available credit has caused collective lifestyle creep. I see this among my friends and family. Everyone talks about how broke they are, yet they are paying for cable TV, multiple streaming services, car wash subscriptions, pets, weed, vapes, restaurant meals, makeup, expensive haircuts, tattoos, constant phone upgrades, new clothes, and on and on. My friend has $20 in her checking account, but she's paying for monthly dog toy subscription box and DoorDash's Starbucks every other day. It's literally insane. I have been on an intense spending freeze for 9 months now to build savings and have learned so much. Basically, I think a whole lot of people are making enough money and could live stress-free if they cut their insane spending. Too many folks have become accustomed to a lifestyle financed with credit that they truly cannot afford.
Yeah, that last part that they read, that I think a whole lot of people are making enough money and could live stress-free if they cut their spending. Like I feel like I hear that all the time too. It's like this like running joke. I think like among like middle of America, who's like, yeah, like, you know, I'm just constantly broke. You know, life is so expensive. Like, I don't have enough money. It's like, haha. But yeah, you do have like the car that you lease, and you do have an expensive apartment, and you do have all the subscriptions, and you have all these random BS things that you're like, dude, like if you cut your life to like, okay, what do I need? You could have so much extra money, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, you could say like, well, yeah, but then I'm sacrificing all of like the lifestyle stuff. But you can rebuild, right? Like you have to kind of bring it down to the bare bones first. Right? What do I need to actually survive? Then you can kind of build it back up and say, all right, is this actually worth it? Like, do I actually want this? You know, because like having the streaming subscriptions, and then the cable TV, and then a car wash subscription, and then the pet things, and then constant upgrades on your phone. Like I've had the same phone for like 4 years now, and it's like I would keep this phone for as long as I could, you know, not break it. It just starts to slow down after a little while, you know, and at that point, that's when I'm so like, all right, it's time to upgrade. But like people just get stuck in this, like you build your lifestyle up, and all of a sudden it's just managed by payments. And when what you're sacrificing is that feeling of not being broke, of not, you know, like feeling like your income doesn't go far enough when things feel like they're expensive.
Yeah, this is such a good point. Like this is so true. I feel like this constantly. Like I want to see, you know, when people say, I have no money, I'm broke, this or that. And you do hear about all these things. They have multiple, and the thing is like all of these subscriptions and things, they do add up. Like I know a lot of people like to say like the small things don't matter, but they actually do. And when people tell me that they can't afford this or that, I would love to see their credit card statements and their bank accounts. Mm-hmm. Like I want to know where your money's going. Like show me the proof here that you really can't afford it, because I guarantee you there's some things in here that you absolutely could cut out. I know the brokest people, and they're door dashing, and I'm like, that is the worst way to use your money. You know what I mean? Like I've door dashed like maybe a few times just because I'll just go pick it up if I need to, because I hate it adds so much money on it. I can't even figure it out half the time. I'm like, crazy. What is this fee? And then you got to tip them. And then there's like all these different things. And I'm like, I literally just paid like, one time when I got laid off one time, I did DoorDash Taco Bell. It was the best Taco Bell ever. But it was the most expensive Taco Bell I've ever had. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I 100% agree with this person. This is like, when we build our lifestyles up like this, it's really hard to then reel it back in, because your lifestyle has to change so much. I think that's where people really get caught up. You know, think about that. Your entire life would have to change to like make this work. And so you just honestly feel like those things, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Entitled. I don't know why that wasn't coming to me, but they're almost entitled to these things now because that's the way they've created their life, that it's like telling them that they have to change it would be just insane, you know?
Yeah. Hot take. I think Taco Bell is disgusting.
So does my husband. I only eat it. Nick, that was a really bad day. I got laid off. And so I said, I don't eat Taco Bell like ever, but I like Chipotle. But it was a bad day, Nick. So just let me have my DoorDash Taco Bell. Okay.
I mean, I totally agree. Like when I hear people, like I always hear like two excuses. It's like, I don't make enough money to like be investing for retirement, or I don't have enough time to like figure out how to budget. You know, like I hear those things and I'm like, those are the two biggest lies you're telling yourself. Like one, like starting to invest for retirement does not need to take, thousands of dollars a month, right? Like you can start with $100 a month. And if you can't free up $100 a month, I think you're lying. I think there's stuff in your, and then you start to point those things out and they're like, oh, well, like, it was because of this or it was because of that. And they justify it, or they're like, yeah, but like, I got to be able to do these things, like there's the entitlement, or the time one. It's like, if you don't have, 30 minutes to figure out, like, can I watch a few videos on budgeting? Like, can I spend maybe 20 minutes a week actually utilizing a budget, between putting your numbers in or whatever it is. Like, I think those are the biggest lies people tell themselves. But yeah, I think, like, I'm a really big believer that if most people, that their life wouldn't be as financially stressful if they were to take stock of like, hey, these are the things that matter, and this is all the stuff I tell myself matters because it makes life easier or more convenient, or because it just feels better, or whatever it is. And that's what's causing me to feel like I can't afford life, or I'm so broke, or all these, or like the economy sucks, or whatever it is. Like, I think a lot of people put themselves into that situation. And that's not to say there aren't people who are in tough financial spots, right? Like, I think there are still, we live in a country with 330 million people. There's millions of people who are in tough financial situations. But I think there are more people who say they are in a tough spot, but if they cut the BS, they could be in a okay spot, or even a decent spot where they could build savings, invest, things like that. But they decide what's important to them, and their spending is a reflection of what they've decided is important.
100%. And just to go back on what you were saying about the time thing, I hear that all the time too. I don't have time to budget this or that. I want to see your screen time on your phone.
Yeah.
Let me see how much time you have, because I can guarantee it's several hours a day on TikTok, Instagram, all those things, when you could be, it doesn't take that long. It takes me, how long does it take you to budget now? It takes me like 10 minutes a week max, because it's just, I'll figure it out. Like, it doesn't take you any longer than that. So I don't know. We make a lot of excuses to continue to live the way we live. We don't want to do the hard changes and feel uncomfortable and scared and all these things. We just want to stay exactly the same. And I think that's where a lot of people are. But yeah, we definitely called some people out, and people aren't going to be happy about this, but I think this is true. And I will say, I've worked with people in the past who, like a single mom with 2 kids, was every single dollar was going towards a necessity in her life. She wasn't making that much, So I get there are people like that, but a lot of people like this that I know, they're my age, they make good incomes, they just are messy with their finances, and they refuse to change. So, hey, if that's the way we want to live, that's fine. But I think about how I don't want to work forever. And, that's what keeps me going, and, not getting stuck in this sort of lifestyle creep. The information, opinions, and recommendations provided on this podcast are for entertainment purposes only and do not constitute professional financial advice. Any financial decisions you make based on the content of this podcast are your responsibility. We strongly recommend consulting with a licensed financial advisor or other qualified professional before making any significant financial decisions. By listening to this podcast, you acknowledge that we are not liable for any financial outcomes.